venic mostro sum mirabile, oculis fulguranti lux inimaginabile, serpentis caudet corvus rostrum terrori nocturni nomen illutatur. In somnis venit, vigiles perterescit, frenit arcano, animas te turbat, sub luna silente cuncta pervagatur, o zigzag tenuis visiomente scaptat. Silidon, che nutremit, silidon, fames nupon mucit, silidon, terror fervet, silidon, omnes servet. Narraciones cantate in notte, legende secunde in fole absente, exulant homines, sigido nefandi, tremunt terrementa, omni die fati, universa transversa, forma mutabile, abi memorabili tempore vastum capabile, quam satiatus, nunquam deficient, siglidon eterni verum, et falsum perime. Silidon, che nutremit, silidon, fames nupon mucit, silidon, terror fervet, silidon, omnes servet.
Hello. How's it going? Sorry, I didn't mean to disturb the song. I love AI, but also, is art dead? Is art dead? Some would say. Some would say it is. But also, it's kind of useful to just be able to make an entire song just out of thin air. You know what I mean? So good. For me, for my own personal use, okay? I'm not saying that I made it or anything like that, but did technically make it. All of that song was orchestrated by me. So, enjoy. Right, we have some more videos to have a little look-see at, because I just can't get enough. Just can't get enough. Also, I think apparently it's Halloween, and I completely forgot to like wear anything appropriate. So that's where I am in my life right now. So there are a couple ones that I wanted to watch today. And then further than that, we'll just see what comes up. I'm sure something will pop up somewhere. Zuluton. Oh, it's gone now. That's okay. Also, I have found an outro as well. Well, I have like an outro screen. Not that I have like a starting soon screen either. I just have this. It's kind of like a screen. It's on the screen. It's a starting soon text on screen. What more do you want from me, hey? So, yes. Let us begin, shall we? Now, we've rambled for the appropriate 3 minutes for the 3-minute ad break you had at the very beginning. So yeah, let's go.
So now the post-Alpha 2 withdrawal symptoms are starting to kick in, people are already desperate to log back into Ashes of
Or just play it.
Creation.
I'm happy to just play it a bit, just to get in.
Me included, of course, and when the servers reopen on Friday, we'll continue our adventure over at twitch.tv/Narcoverse. But before we get into that,
Feels like a
sit
Friday
back,
to me.
relax, and grab yourself a Kilpa Kyola, because combat is our subject of discussion today. Combat,
Cool.
combat. The main thing people care about in an MMORPG. So, I'll be giving you guys my opinions on the combat, the difficulty, and class
I
design.
love how every now and again people just keep falling. Whoa! Hey, Zeus, how's it going? Thanks for the follow. How are we? How are we today? The administrator beckons you over excitedly. Okay, I think we should go over there, guys. Hey, how's it? How is it? So, please tell me, are you one of these alpha tours at the moment, or in bed in pain? That's not cool. That's not cool at all. Get well soon. That sucks. Well, it's okay. We'll distract you with Ashes of Creation content. You're broke. Oh dear. I'm sorry. Yes, I made the big decision of getting the Alpha 2. Just because I had saved up a few pennies exactly for this, and then I set them aside like ages ago, like years ago. And then I just never dipped in. I was like, I could do it now, I suppose. Hey, Hardware, how's it going? How are you? I'm doing very well. So, Zeus, even though you're not a alpha tour, are you looking forward to the game? How are you enjoying the content so far?
Supplemented by feedback from our community as well. Now, with all that bollocks out of the way, let's begin, shall we? Okay, so I'll preface this video by saying, listen, I get it, right? Combat is a highly sensitive topic, and opinions about what is good combat is always an extremely volatile discussion.
So I've not played. I've only heard other people and their views on it, but from what we've been hearing, everyone else seems to really like it. Has anyone said, has that been like a thing at all elsewhere? People not enjoying the combat? Oh, probably like not the rogue or the summoner. Yeah, that sucks. It's pretty non-existent. Heck yeah, game looks great. Correct.
But, can you fuck the chair?
Right now? Tifa, right now? You sure? You sure? I need to turn it into a mature stream. Is that ever going to leave? There was that one time, okay? And no, I won't give anyone else context on that. There was that one time. that one time I dedicated to romancing a chair for 2 hours in a game. Please do. And we'll get to that eventually. It's on my list of topics. Don't really care much about the bugs. Same. Only do better. Yes, this is the worst state it'll ever be in. Hopefully. Hopefully. Everything seems super fun. Everything does seem super fun. And even though the combat, like Narc said, is a massive priority for a lot of people, for me, I think it's probably everything else. Everything else. Obviously, I'd love to do raids and be in a guild and have that social aspect of it. But other than that, the combat's just like as a default. You're playing a game, you're going to be combating. But I want to feel out all the other systems. Also, I find their artisan progression system interesting. Yes, that is what initially, like, really interested me in the game. Why is there only one stream of the game? Is it down? You're confused. So the servers for everyone else, everyone who does actually have access, can't get in until Friday. So it's on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then for the rest of the time, it's just React content to all the other stuff. The game is down only during the... Yeah. It's not down. It's just offline. So it's only the weekends at the moment. Limit how many skills you can progress. I like that as well. Because in a guild, you don't want everyone to be like, oh, I want to like make armor, and then everyone like is making the armor, and then they have to source the materials outside of the guild. You want people like specializing. So you want people who are like the crafters, the processors, the refiners, the hunters, all that stuff. So I like how it kind of forces everyone to have different roles in a group.
All come from different backgrounds and prefer different.
So people pay 120 just to get limited on their alpha testing. Yes. Well, the alpha testing people, for 120, can't even get in until November 8th. But then, as far as I'm aware, until release, all these people will be getting just access to Alpha 2 Plus, so through the beta.
Spoiler alert, the chair left him. And now he's shy to show his love to his new chair. He's also a big Cher fan.
Big Cher fan? I hate Cher. I could not tell you one Cher song. Cher, what's a Cher song? She's the one that sings like, "Don't you believe in love after love?" Is that Cher? I think I nailed it. We don't talk about old Cher. We don't talk about it. Okay, so basically the chair thing, the whole chair thing, for those that care, and for also those who don't care and are just going to get told. I was playing on ChatGPT, where you can create your own adventure kind of thing. Nice first hardware, nice first. Should I have something for the first redeem? I feel like I should. Be like, oh, here's a hug. No, that's terrible. I'm going to take that hug back. We were playing a game on ChatGPT where it's just like choose your own adventure, and it'll tell you like what the outcome of your actions were, and then you react to those. Wow! Yay! Thanks, Unlucky. 180. Yay! 180. Woo! Just hug a pillow. Okay. Alright, thanks a lot. No worries. I'm gonna stream the game if I am. Yeah, I won't be streaming the game until November 8th, but a bunch of people will be streaming it this weekend, so you'll have plenty of content. We were getting distracted. So, there was a chair in a room. There was a chair in a room, and the game slightly, not a lot, but slightly said that the chair was mysterious. And we could have just left it. It was like a throw-out line. It was like, oh, the bookcase was wonderful and the chair was mysterious and it was sitting there. And also, but look at this. Look at this whole wizard thing going on. You want to talk to the wizard? I was like, no. Let's find out more about this chair. So then I spent a good portion of that entire adventure just trying to romance the chair. Do I regret it? No. Do I miss the chair? Yes. Might still have the picture, actually. I might still have the picture. But anyway, if you give me a pick your own adventure and you put a chair in there, what do you expect? You know, that's on you for not expecting that to happen.
Playstyles, and that's okay. Whether you think the combat
Only thing you'd like if you could be a journeyman at the cost of not being able to become a master. So how would that work out? What would be a journeyman but not a master there? For all professions. Okay. So like a jack of all trades. Dunno. You'd still be able to do like slightly different artisan skills, right? You can still dip your toes, right? You're still going to be able to fish. Is that an artisan skill? You should have seen the legs on that chair. It went on forever, all the way down to the floor. Yikes.
is good or not
Sharing is sharing. I definitely shared too much with that chair, I'll tell you that. Can only level up to 10 in all skills. So what would be the max cap of each skill? To be a master. To be a master. Artisan master. Chair emote when. Literally, the only person that would use the chair would be Tifa, and no one else would understand what the chair's for. Share emote when. Share on a chair. We might be on something. So yeah, how far down an artisan skill tree or leveling can you get? And where does it cap out? Because you would want to do some things in other skills, right? How limiting is that? If you've just posted a link, that's not going to work. Can we get a Discord soundboard thing with you singing share again? No, we're going to ignore share and the chair. That's the oldest. I'm a different guy, okay? I've moved on. Moved on to better chairs. Hate this chair. This is nothing like that wooden magical chair. Even though it does have a head pillow. I don't use. Like, what's a head pillow used for? Is it for the head or is it for the neck? Is it a neck pillow? Like, where do I... what is it? I hate chairs in general. Just chair, you decide what I need. Why do I have to fiddle around with you? Your level limit is 50. I don't know. It's the whole... Hello? Hello? Why does my mic keep doing that? Don't touch the mic. It keeps disconnecting. Yeah, just get guild, bro. Just get guild. We need to share the emote of share sitting on a chair while chairing her shares? Okay. Okay. You know how a lot of Discords have channels where you can post pics of your pets? Can we have one of those for chairs? Put it in the suggestion. Put it in the suggestion channel. I'll remember. I'll definitely remember it.
Is very important feedback for Intrepid to hear. However, it's important to state why the combat is the way that it is and what the game's intent is. Ashes of Creation is an open-world PvX MMORPG with high emphasis on group play and a trinity system. Therefore, it is very difficult for action-style combat like BDO or New World to work in a game like this. That is why Ashes of Creation have settled on the combat it currently has. This is 3 years of hard work, listening and iterating on feedback that we all gave as a community during Alpha 1. And I, after finally getting my hands on it...
Does it look good? Like even just swinging a mace? Looks okay. So aesthetically, I think I've been pleased with it, especially from the mage point of view.
It can say, without a shadow of a doubt, that it has the potential to become one of the best combat systems currently on the market.
Whoa! No way! No way! Really, really? Is it that good? That good?
It is essentially a combat system very similar to Guild Wars 2, except with
Never
some
played it.
additions that improve the general impact split between 2 camera mode settings. The traditional tab targeting camera has a very familiar feel to it. It is essentially identical to World of Warcraft. However, the action camera mode, which locks your camera to your mouse, allows you to treat the game like it has action-style combat similar to Black Desert Online or New World.
I like that. I'm going to have to play around with the two systems, though. Is there an objectively better one? But any combat system can become the best on the market. True, I guess. Like, someone releases Pong 2, and they're like, ah, shit, this could be the best combat system ever of all time. It's not going to be, but it could be. There is that potential. It's no OSRS, but it's fine, I guess. What? Come on, you've got this. OSRS, Orbital Shock Rock Shooters. Is that it? Is that what that means? Oh god. Look in the Discord. What is that? What is a sword? A sword. And should I actually know it? You said, oh, okay, so it is orbital shock rock shooters. Good.
In addition, this camera mode also
First try.
rebinds your weapon attack
Old school RuneScape. Yes, I should have known that. Well done. Well done. You got me. You made me look like a fool. Thanks, Penguin. It is no old school RuneScape. You are true. Yes. Yeah. You know what? That also has a potential of becoming the best on the market. It won't.
combo to your left mouse button, and also allows you to block with your right mouse
Sorry,
button.
what were you saying?
Online allows you to treat the game like it has action-style combat, similar to Black Desert Online or New
So that's what it was like for the Apocalypse, right? Like a bit more like this?
World. In addition, this camera mode also rebinds your weapon attack combo to your left mouse button, and also allows you to block with your right mouse button. But we'll explain more about blocking in a moment, because
So that'd be good for tanks? Is it good for different classes then?
combat actions in Ashes of Creation are broken into 3 categories.
Weapon combos!
Your primary way of attacking is through weapon combo attack.
Just said
Each
that.
weapon has its own combo that can be enhanced in various ways through the unique skill tree dependent on the weapon that you're currently using. In addition, as you progress the skill tree, each weapon has the opportunity to trigger a unique proc effect that applies various debuffs that complement your build. This proc effect has its own animation and triggers
Nice.
dynamically and naturally as you perform your
I
attacks.
think I didn't even
Something we've
try to fight
never
back.
seen in an MMORPG before. So I think it's worth bringing that up, as a lot of players have likely missed this and its potential. Currently in Phase 1 for Alpha 2,
Proc
we
effect
have
weaved
great
into
swords,
combo. It's
scepters, maces, one-handed swords, short bows, long bows, and wands. However, as the phases progress,
And book. And book. You could have a mace, you could have a sword, you could have book.
we're expecting additional weapons, such as one-handed axes, two-handed hammers, dual-wielding daggers,
Dual wielding books!
rapiers, staffs, and spears,
Ah.
with the possibility of more that are currently unannounced. Our second combat action is known
I mean, at the end of the day, they can just add, like, all weapons depending on systems, right? They just rebalanced some of the specs. Dual wielding ones would be excellent. Dual wielding ones, and then your secondary as even more ones. Just one mage. Basically, General Grievous, but with ones.
as combat utilities. These are actions such as sprint, dodge, and active blocking that are governed by a stamina resource available to all archetypes. Dodging currently gives you a 100% chance to evade incoming attacks during its animation frames,
Cool.
and costs you 50 out of your 100 total stamina. Blocking currently mitigates a specific percentage of damage depending on what weapon you're blocking with, having the shield be the highest mitigation, costing you a percentage of your stamina every time you block. And finally, the sprint is a
So am I missing something? So the only reference I can think of at the moment is Dark Souls. But what would be the benefit of dodging and putting up your shield? So why would you not just dodge it? What does shielding up do differently? It was because it was dodging is a higher cost of stamina. So yes, okay. So you can dodge like once, but you can't like infinitely dodge, but you'll be able to block more than you can dodge. Okay, yeah, cool. Made sense. He managed it. He managed to think it through, guys. Don't worry about it.
flat increase in movement speed at the cost of a slow stamina drain. These combat utilities also have a linear skill tree for each of their actions,
that
with
what
the
you just
highest
said?
mitigation, costing you a percentage of your stamina every time you block. And finally, the sprint is a flat increase in movement speed at the cost of a slow stamina drain. These combat utilities also have a linear skill tree for each of their actions, greatly buffing them until it is eventually maxed out. I suspect this particular skill tree
Escape velocity. Gain 1% additional movement speed every second while sprinting while in combat.
has a lot more work to go before it is in a good state. And finally,
Combat
we of course
utilities.
have the most important part of the game, the archetype you choose when you create your character. This is a static choice and
gonna go.
cannot be changed, much like
at the
traditional
glasses.
MMORPGs like World of Warcraft or Guild Wars 2. Most of the archetypes in the game have a class RPG.
So yeah, this is going to be me. Right here. Summoner, Necromancer, done. And then I just live in a hole somewhere with my skellies.
Like World of Warcraft or Guild Wars 2. Most of the archetypes in the game have a class resource or unique mechanic.
Do we know anything about Necromancer? Probably not. I don't think we do yet, do we? We don't know if it's just, hey, skeleton, go over there and explode, or is it like, summon 2 skeletons. Now I have 2 other people around. 2 other AI bodyguards. What class am I playing? I'm currently not playing until November 8th, but I think I want to try. I don't know. I don't know. They all look good except for fighter. Everything looks good except for fighter. I think it's split between mage and bard at the moment. But do I want to be tank? I also want to fill some gaps, if you know what I mean. So I might end up choosing tank, because apparently tank's not something that people usually tend to go with. I don't want to be like, oh great, another mage, thanks, we really needed another one of those. But at launch, what's your go-to class usually in MMOs? Tank. Tank. Simply because I do a lot of like AFK playing where I'm not really paying attention, and tank is generally like an easy, lazy one for me to do. And also, if I'm just soloing it, I've got like a bunch of HP to react to. So I'm like doing work on the side. But yeah, I love tanking. Tanking's alright. I just don't want to do it again. From the limited stuff you've watched, it does feel like everyone's a mage. Or is it just the most entertaining stuff to post and watch is the mage? Mage looks fun, but mage looks like the most obvious choice, which makes me not want to go for it. Tanking your car and tanking in games. Tanking my car? Or tanking in games? I can have a tank for a car? I take that. I assume that's what you mean. Looking Discord. Just posted a chair on a chair. Okay. What have I started? There's no chair chat. There's no That's not funny. That's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's pretty funny. Wait 2 secs. This is beautiful. This is art. I'm really impressed that they were able to design this in that short amount of time. I don't even know if this is how sharing stuff works on here. Yes, there we go. That'll work. Look at this. Look at this. What have we done? What have we become? How did we fall so far? Jesus help us. The chair isn't even, like, on her head. Oh my god. Oh my god. New, like, I'm so sorry, everyone that's, like, come in for serious AOC content. Also, sorry for the flashbang. But, if you look closely, you can see that this stem, this whatever this is, the cross thing, doesn't actually reach the other leg. Hence, I propose to you that the chair is actually coming from Cher herself. Maybe this is like part of her hair, like a bit like, what's that game where that lady goes around with her hair? What, every game with a girl with her hair that she shoots? Not wait, is it Bullet Witch? No, Bullet Witch is a different game. What's the one with the tall black-haired lady who goes around, shoots angels? It's not LOL. Not everything is LOL. Anyway, I need to investigate that more. I think the chair is part of her. I think she is a sort of chair goblin.
Mechanic that they play around. For example, the cleric has divine power. Wars 2. Most of the archetypes in the game have a class resource or unique mechanic that they play around. For example, the cleric has divine power, which can be customized to either instantly cast their spell.
Chair, hair, share. You got it. Nailed it in one. You should tag it. Also, you should definitely put your name on that.
Example, the cleric has divine power, which can be customized to either instantly cast their spells or to reduce the mana cost for a choice of either speed or efficiency. Each archetype has a huge amount of spells to choose between, and every class has a unique skill tree with passives that further enhance the spells that you've unlocked.
Has someone done a website guide for this? You know, in Borderlands, like before the game even comes out, you can spec your character. Has someone done that yet? But stuff. Shower time, BRB. It's okay, we'll wait. Probably on the wiki. No, I want an interactive one. I want to go through and like click and look and pretend that I'm playing the game.
Currently, the game is capped at level 25, with a plan to eventually go up to level 50. So, expect the current roster of progression to double at least, with further
Yay.
customization based on feedback given. In addition, augments are another layer of progression that will eventually be available to all archetypes, and allows you to multi-class to enhance the roster of skills within.
We've seen this for a while. Yes, of course we have. We're obsessed with this. So I am going to be Summoner Cleric for a Necromancer. What's a Cleric Summoner? Oh, wait. Do it this way. Cleric Summoner Shaman. Cool. Cool. I think out of all of them, the one that I'm like most drawn to is the Necromancer, of course. Wait, didn't I say I wanted to stay away from like the obviously good choices? Or Beastmaster. But do we know what they're gonna be like? I don't know. Have to find out.
Each archetype's spellbook. We do not currently fully understand the extent of the augments, and it is currently not in development until the rogue and summoner are fully in the game. So, now that we understand what the combat is and how it works, let's move on to my feedback and impressions. I chose to play a cleric.
Haven't looked at enough of those. Oh, okay. Well, at the moment we've just got like names, right? So we don't know how they're gonna tweak the main class.
And got to level 12 during our 2 days of playtime. This was mostly achieved through grinding.
Was the planner what you were looking for? Maybe. Again, there's like links have been blocked, so you tell me what to search for, I'll go for it. But yeah, the planner for the spell stuff, that would be cool. Is it interactive? Is it interactive? I know I can just look at it, but I want to like click buttons like you did in the Borderlands game.
With a group of 8 in various high-density spots with minimal amounts of 2- and 3-star elites. Sadly, the desync of the game right now really hinders the feel of the combat simply because the mobs do not react in a way that feels natural, like you'd see from our currently popular MMORPGs. That is okay, of course.
Just getting stuck in a bush. Classic bear tactic. Just intrigued for what Shaman might be like. Has anyone like posted anything about like how they think that they're gonna be themed? Because even if it's just like the themes change, but visually you can tell like what's what. I think that'd be cool. like some extra stuff. It's fully interactive. Ah. Sounds good for me.
As Phase 1 is mainly focused on these networking issues. But because of this and a few elevation exploits, mob AI right now is definitely far from an ideal.
Elevation exploits, we're saying that if you get high, if you like jump on here, how's the bear gonna attack you? Or does it just not know you're up there? Because just like dogs, bears can't look up.
Place. However, the difficulty and damage.
The gooseneck. Hey. Biggest turn-off about this game is no fast travel. Running simulator is not fun. New World was the same way. There was fast travel in New World. There was. I remember you had to pay for it though, right? You had to go to like a node, to like a teleporting station, to then teleport around. Or if you had like your home in a certain city, you could travel back to it. You had to run to it first. Do you not like that? I kind of like that. I kind of like the idea of having to find somewhere first before I can fast travel to it. So like in... I can't really speak for many MMOs. But if I loaded up a game in like Final Fantasy, let's say, or like even in something else like Elder Scrolls, do I want to be able to fast travel to like the other side of the map that I've not experienced yet? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I completely agree that the fast travel system is going to turn off a lot of people. But hopefully the alternatives that they have in the game is going to be good. So I know what you're saying about like running simulator, but you'll have mounts. You could run on a mount. I don't mind it, but when it takes 30 minutes to get to it in game, it gets old. Like, I shouldn't have to run 30 minutes to play a dungeon. I get you. I get where you're coming from, 100%. So, like, if you are 4 hours away, you're probably not going to attack that node while it's 30 minutes away. Okay. No, fast travel should be a little limited. Superman, so what would be, like, your perfect fast traveling system? Kamehameha. Still gonna try it out. Hey, maybe you'll try it and actually you'll be like, whoa, I was wrong. I was wrong. The little bits of fast traveling that they have in the game is like decent enough. Are the servers down for this game? At the moment, they're only up on the weekends. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Maybe it'll be good. Yeah. So I think, me personally, when it said there was no fast travel, that kind of like blew my mind. Because I'm thinking, what if there's a dungeon, top right of the map, I've made my home bottom left, and then there's this cool like dungeon or cool special event that's happening up in the mountains. Like, how do I get there? Like, what do I have to do? We've got we were saying about the scientific metropolises can opt in for a teleportation. I think people, the mayors, will opt to have one because it will be a draw towards their node. So I think that a lot of people will have teleportation nodes at their metropolises. Whoa! Hey, Knights! Thanks for the follow, appreciate you. That'd be neat. Yeah, yeah. Because I know what you're thinking. Like, if I have to walk... Imagine Skyrim with no fast traveling. Imagine GTA with no fast traveling. You have to, like, get to a certain place, get a plane, steal a plane, to then travel up north. And then it just takes forever. And you're like, this is gameplay. I just wanted to shoot a guy. But I think it will work out. I think we just need to, like, maybe rewire our brains to it. Just set expectations. And plan out ahead. Yeah, the only thing I'm thinking of is if there's a cool dungeon or like a cool node event that's happening on a completely different side of the planet, like I want to go there. Like I've got, I don't know, like 2 hours free, and then, you know, I've got to go to my son's piano recital. Like, do I just have to spend like forever getting there and then not actually manage to see the thing I wanted to see? Why must Steven make me... why must Steven have me make a choice by tomorrow? Oh, I know. I'm actually kind of happy that I've already made the choice, because I would not want to be you right now. I really would not want to be you. I get it. It's like the time pressure. It's like, if I don't do it, I'll regret it. But if I do it, I might regret it. And it's a hefty chunk of change. 12-hour shifts, trying to run for an hour. Yeah, that's how I feel. But they've got like a taxi service. I haven't looked up the taxiing service yet. But that would be nice. Maybe there's something. I don't know. It's just limited. You know your dumbass is going to do it, but holding off for a little while on the last day still makes you feel good. This is not... Hey, Night Shift. Hi. Nice to meet you. This is not financial advice. But what if everyone gets a notification that, hey, we're about to close down the Alpha 2 keys, and then the site goes down, and then you miss the opportunity? Like I said, not financial advice, but the internet does internet sometimes. Hey, Superman, thanks for the follow. Thank you kindly. Don't do this to me, so you just met. Well, okay, so, not financial advice. I am not an accountant. It's not legal advice. If anything I say leads you to any detriment, any financial, emotional, material distress, please do not sue me, okay? But if you're gonna do it, just do it, if you can afford it. If the cost is, like, not an option, like, it's not an issue, just relax, do it. Just be like me. And then you know you've got it. Because what could happen? You could, like, go outside. This is even worse. You could go outside and get hit by a bus. Then what are you going to do? Like, email Steven. Just be like, excuse me, sir. Mr. Steven, sir. Please? Can I have a key? I broke my leg. I had to go in hospital. I didn't have enough time. It's your own damn fault, Knight. Not legal advice. If you dislike the game, it is a bad investment. Good. Yes, we need opposing views. And if you like the game, you have 1 year and 3 months of playtime. That's how I see it. And obviously, this is the worst that it's going to be. And we don't know how long the game's going to take to come out. So it could be in beta for like 5 years. Wait, a buddy let you play on his stuff last weekend? Wait, you've already been in? You've already been in and now you're worrying about getting a key or not? That should be a no-brainer. I definitely think you're an accountant. Please sue it. Don't sue me. No. I've spent the money to get in for November 8th. I don't have more money to spend. Investing your college funds right now. No, Stalcat. Wait, no. This is what I'm gonna be like. Don't buy the game, and then another dev from the game's gonna come in and be like, "Oh, hi, how's it going?" I'll be like, "Oh God, not again. Stop firing at the game when devs are in the chat. Outside, what is that? Good, yes. My type of chatter. Disagree, next weekend is the worst it will be. Next weekend is probably the worst it will be, yeah. Actually, I'm going to say last Sunday is probably the worst it will be. And then anything after that is going to be either as bad as or better, right? 120 for an alpha is insane. Alpha, beta, and then, well, those are the main two, right? And we don't know how long that's going to be for. So that's a big amount of time. It's not just Alpha 2 you're buying. I'm not like a salesman. Why am I doing this to myself? I'm stressing myself out that I might convince someone to spend money that they can't afford. It's selling your dog for the keys. Don't sell the dogs for the keys. No. No. I'm also not a vet. That's probably not a good idea. Do they take dogs? Is that what's happening? How have we reached the time where companies are willing to take dogs as currency before Bitcoin? How are we there? I did not see that happening. Or are we just saying about Doge? Hey! Marta, how's it going? Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Appreciate you and your face. The 8th will be the worst since everyone... Yeah, so there's going to be so many people going in. Like, Lionsgate is going to be awful. Like, there will be signs, like people staking in a massive signs into the ground just at the portal saying, just run away. Just run away, get out as fast as you can. That's going to be the worst place ever of all time. So if you get the key, you still pay $15 a month or what? Yeah, after it comes out. You get a month's worth of gameplay after it comes out and some cosmetic currency. But yeah, the beta and alpha is good enough for me, personally. Not financial advice.
That people take seems
Do I even need to say that stuff? Probably. I know for a fact, knowing my luck, someone's going to sell their grandma for a key. They'll be like, wait a second. I liked my grandma. Why did you do this to me, Zig? Yes, so when it's fully released, you pay the 15. Yes. But that could be, you know, 15 years from now.
to be in a pretty decent spot, especially when 1 or
Or it could be next year, but it's not going to be next year.
2-star elite mobs get involved. Hence, what and damage that people take.
Oh,
Because of
also,
this and-
for anyone who is in the know, or anyone that has played it, what does he mean by the verticality issues?
Simply because the mobs do not react in a way that feels natural, like you'd see from our currently popular MMORPGs. That is okay, of course, as Phase 1 is mainly focused on these networking issues. But because of this and a few elevation exploits... That.
Also, there's ads, so... Yeah, what a good idea. Why don't you ask a question just as there's a 30-second ad? Good idea, Zig. Literally tells you on the screen when your ads will run. I should have an ads thing. Everyone's doing that. I should do it. I'm gonna make one. Make it good though. Don't make it terrible. It would be so funny if they come out on the 8th with "We are bankrupt." We are bankrupt. Not enough people joined. Yes, it was because Knight didn't actually buy the game. We were one key away from being successful, but now we have to close down because Knight didn't actually buy a key. Oh, that I didn't do anything, did ads. There we go. Here we are. Do I even need to do this? Because I only have like 30-second ads because that's the minimum that I can have. Maybe not. Where is my font? Where is that press start player 2? Oh, it's in the P's. Dush. Beautiful. There we go. Just in time for the ads to have stopped. But now we have an ads thing as well. Slowly but surely, we are learning to stream. Not like we've been streaming for some time here. I'm just rubbish. And also keep resetting everything. Haven't played. Based on the wording and the clip, you'd assume it means standing on higher terrain killer thing. Yeah. With that. Exploits. 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 If I am against a bear, and I am... Wait. Maybe not in a tree, because bears can climb trees. If I am on a pillar that cannot be climbed by bears, a slippery pillar. I'm on a pillar covered in grease that a bear cannot climb up. Should the bear be able to attack me? Buying the key today after you get some errands done. My accounting advice. Oh, I'm so sorry for your bank account. But also, you might be making the best decision of your life. You know. This could be the one thing that you've been expecting your entire life. You know, that game-changing. That inciting incident that takes you on your hero's journey. Mobs are easy, bug out, or get stuck with elevation, it seems. Okay, fair enough. Whereas in other games, they'd either just be able to climb impassable terrain, or they'd become invulnerable and reset. Or you give them some janky range where they just throw rocks at you or something. How did I climb up it? I'll give you 5 guesses how I climbed up it. Where do you think the grease came from? My sweaty ass. I've just been up there for a while. I just got really clammy hands. Just dripping down the pillar. I should do OnlyFans. Bear shouldn't be able to attack you, but they should reset if they can't reach you. What if we have... Can you see my mouse? You can't see my mouse.
Mob AI.
You can now see my mouse. So if we have bear here, right? Everyone see bear? And we have pillar here. Through mystery and wonder and intrigue, I managed to get on top of this pillar. The bear's, like, set default area is here. Would we want to attack the bear with range? The bear to come up here, to notice that it doesn't have any pathing to get to us, doesn't have any range, and then just resets back to this area. Is that how it's going to work? You're replacing future relationships with AOC. Hey, I'm in a similar boat. I'm replacing current relationships with AOC. I have family and friends that are gonna think I'm dead. Just run away. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking, like, how do they do it in other games? They either let you attack and just you have... Not exploit. I wouldn't call it exploit if it's intended. You should be able to range a melee-based animal. As long as, like, getting elevated isn't easy, right? If that's like a one-off and then you manage to, like, jump off a tree or... I don't know, how would you get up there? Don't know. Haven't decided. Not sure. Good morning, morning, Rusty Gnome. How are you? You'll be back later. Gonna do some of that stuff. Yes! Do it in time. Make sure you don't get hit by a bus as well. Don't do that. That is financial advice. No one get hit by a bus. If no one gets hit by a bus and you take my advice, then you can sue me?
Right now is definitely far from an ideal place. However, the difficulty and damage that people take seems to be in a pretty decent spot, especially when 1 or 2 star elite mobs get involved.
No, you shouldn't. Yeah, because that's just like farming, isn't it? Like easy farming.
That's why we try to avoid them, despite their massive amount of experience reward. I find people running out of mana in a fairly reasonable amount of time with options.
Okay, so should I be hit by a train? I have given so much advice during this stream. I've pretended that I'm not an accountant or a lawyer or a vet, okay? Even though you can see I probably am. You can decide yourself what vehicle you want to get hit by. Sign up for the alpha. The game looks like it's fun. I hope it's fun. Yeah, I'm not in until November 8th, but from what I've seen, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be exactly what I've been waiting for a while. The game that I was hoping was going to be the game that I've been waiting for a while was New Worlds. And I enjoyed it up to a point. And then other people started disliking it and not playing it. But everyone's saying that this is better than New Worlds. So that sounds good. That sounds promising. And even just the combat stuff that we're talking about now. We're talking about having relationship with chairs. The video that we're watching about is like all about the combat. The combat, the majority of people I've heard have agreed the combat is decent and it feels good and it looks good. Visually, I like the way that it all looks. And then everything other than that, like the node system, artisan system, guild system, when that gets built up, like that's the stuff that I'm actually looking forward to. Like for me, combat is just going to be good anyway. Should be good. 1 month later, dead game. New World, good for the first few hundred hours. I spent 300 in there. End game gets super repetitive and non-existent. That's what I heard, Knight. That's what I heard. And then it kind of just... yeah, just fizzles out. If people get hype about the end game, it doesn't really matter if you hit a little dip in the middle of the story progression or your level progression, because you're like, okay, we're grinding out this, but then as soon as we get to the end game, as soon as we get to do like higher like raids and stuff like that, like you'll just power through it. But if you have a non-existent end game, like what are you working to? It's been fun, and with some of the changes they've made already, you should have an even better time by November 8th. I'm so looking forward to it. That fills me with so much confidence. I'm so excited. I'm excited by other people playing it and getting excited about how good it's been. And I'm also excited about that it's, for me, my first experience is gonna be better than you guys. So I'm so optimistic. Maybe naive, but mostly optimistic. The amount of class options should be interesting. Yeah, 100%. 64. Absolute madness. Love to see how the different archetypes actually change each class. Needs, for me, does it need to be significant? Does it need to be significant, or can it just be slightly different? It needs to be noticeable. You need to look at someone and be like, oh, okay, that class is, I'm trying to think, like a shaman or a sword weave. I can't, like, they've all gone over my head. Like what's the bard one? The bard sword one. You need to look at them and be like, they're one of those people. You want to tank with a panther? Yes. Excellent choice. What would you choose for that? As soon as you said that, I'm thinking panther. Would that be beastmaster? Like, you need to be able to tell. Right, okay. So I've made my decision. You need to be able to tell the difference between a beastmaster, squeaky, and a necromancer. That's it. Tank summoner. Yes. And you need to look at a tank summoner and be like, right, okay, that summoner is a tank summoner or a something tank. I don't know. We don't know. I don't know. I need the necromancer to be good. I need it to have necromancy things going on. It can't just be you shoot off an ability and it's just a different color.
To sustain through their class kit and assistant.
Just full metal armor. Tank summoner. Like, would they just summon... yeah, summon more armor? Does that count as summoning? Probably not. They summon, like, heavy duty animals, like a turtle. Or, like, a snail.
from the cleric or bard. However, I've also seen many complaints about the regeneration out of combat being very tedious. This is due to the current available
Probably not a snail. I'm talking about, like, just imagine a really big snail with heavy armor. As soon as I said snail, I was like, you've chosen one of the weakest ass animals ever of all time. They summon beetle armor. That would be cool. That would be really cool. I like that.
rations from vendors, only regenerating 25% of resources per 10 seconds, requiring
Sorry.
players to consume through their class
Didn't see
kit
what you're
and
talking about.
assistance from the cleric.
go back.
We try to avoid them despite their massive amount of experience reward. I find people running out of mana in a fairly reasonable amount of time with options to sustain through their class kit and assistance from the cleric or bard. However, I've also seen many complaints about the regeneration out of combat being very tedious. This is due to the current available rations from vendors only regenerating 25% of resources per 10 seconds, requiring players to consume multiple of them in order to get back to full. I myself ditto this feedback, as it does feel pretty clunky to consume multiple rations per regen session. I would love to see them increase the amount a single ration regens to 75% over 30 seconds, and
Okay.
single ration full. I myself
Necromancer is summoner and cleric. Yes. But you can't have just a summoner with cleric spells. Like, you can't. You can't, right? You gotta give me skellies, or you gotta give me zombies, or you gotta give me, like... Necromancer is so its own thing. Can't just be a generic summoner, but you've got some cleric abilities. Classes with a summoner secondary may grant augment skills that summon weapons. Nice. Oh yeah, like weapon summoner, yeah. Not able to be equipped. That would be cool. I like that. There goes your panther. No! What about if you swap it the other way around? What if you have a summoner tank? What happens that way? Whoa! Hey, Tick, thanks for the follow. Appreciate ya. Do appreciate it. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the classes, actually. Why not show the class? Why not show the class the classes? Right, let's have a look, shall we? Let's get into it. Right, please come up. Please be good. I want to see it like that. I want to see it like this. How do I view that image? Zoom and enhance. So we have a tank. Whoa! Rusty! Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Gotta raise something undead with skills to buff them. Yes. Yeah. Because look, this is main class here. Main class here. So we have summoner. We just got a summoner. I don't know what the summoner does. Does anyone know? Have they said if it's gonna summon like a pet? Is this like the pet class? Wild Blade. It's good that okay. Could be anything. It could be I'm gonna summon a weapon. But Necromancer has to summon the undead. No, all speculation. Okay. Enchanter. So a summoner enchanter could potentially summon an enchantment buff to its party. Spellmancer. What's a spellmancer? Do we know anything about that? I don't even know like how to navigate that. Spellmancer. That what, like a mage? You mance spells? Beastmaster, that would be where your panther is, right? Shadowmancer gonna be summoning something shadowy, either spells or maybe like Shadow Blade. Brood Warden sounds like maybe because it's a warden and you've got a brood. Maybe that's another. You spawn like mini tanks. Like this is where your snails are gonna be. Has to be pets, yeah. They got to rename tank as a class. I think they will. I think they've had enough feedback that tank is not it. Like, give something else to tank. There's like tank, DPS, magic DPS, healer. I mean, you've got cleric. You've got cleric here. Why do you have tank? Brood Warden is a fantastic name, but they've got to live up to the names. Pet minion class. I hope so. Soon in phase 3. It's not that long away. In my lifetime, hopefully. Lay eggs. Oh, maybe that's it. Okay, so Brood Warden could be something like you'd summon like 2 turtles that are like really aggro attracting. And it's like, oh, there you go. Just have a... Because it's tank as well. You summon mini tanks. Or is it brood as in you summon a multitude of enemies that like distract other people? I don't know. What would I call it? It's not creative enough. I probably... The ones that I would have chosen are already there. I would have said like Guardian or Sentinel. What does everyone else think? What is the better name for a tank? Like, Defender, big HP pool, max armor. I don't know. There's always been like, it's a shit name. Okay, what should they call it? The Wall. Just the Wall. Wallmancer. Oh, that's it. They're just gonna mance walls everywhere. I like that idea. That's what the brood is. A broody wall. Shieldman. Captain Shieldman. What would be a good name? Not Defender. I like Guardian, but Guardian's already taken. Tank is good. Where were we? Where was that vid?
All right, after playing Ashes of Creation, I have a lot.
Got bit by a radioactive shield.
I give you guys.
Am Iron Man. Iron Man? Does that work?
Dude, I think
Every
it's pretty...
single month since September,
I have,
I've
like,
said the
so
exact
many
same
things up.
thing, and that is, this is the best life.
Where? There we are. Said something like Guardian. I like Guardian, but Guardian's already taken. Sad times.
Ditto this feedback, as it does feel pretty clunky to consume multiple rations per regen session. I would love to see them increase the amount a single ration regens to 75% over 30 seconds, and giving the higher level rations available through the cooking artisan skill, regenerating that same 75% in less time, like 20.
I feel like that's something that they're gonna bring out anyway, right? Like different levels of rations.
25 seconds, 20 seconds, or 15 seconds, depending on the tier of artisan who crafted it. This, I think, enhances the grind playstyle by removing an unnecessarily tedious aspect without breaking the cadence of taking a short break to regenerate. As for...
So what caused this? Because I would hope that the healers and the bards would help out with that. Would I expect someone to have to just sit down and eat for a while mid-battle? I don't think so. Hey, got no arrows. Let's go in. Excited about AOC? Have you been in yet? Tell me everything. Call it Guardian and change the current Guardian to Mega Guardian. Super Metal Guardian, mon. You've been in... Ah, excellent. How is it? Please tell me it's everything that I'm expecting. Actually, tell me the worst thing about it. Give me some negativity. Give me some realism. Because at the moment, everything I'm saying is like, it's an alpha. Like, don't worry about it. It'll get fixed. Worst is like, okay, I guess that was like an obvious answer. What's the worst part of it? When I couldn't get in on Sunday. Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, I should have guessed that. What class were you? Where were you filling? You've got any suggestions? The worst is that it only open on the weekends. Actually, I raise you. The worst part is I can't play until November 8th. Ranger and Cleric. How was the Cleric? Tried all of them. Does the Cleric feel good? Cat, come here. Which cat? Patrick? Patches. Patrick O'Malley. Come here, boy. Come here. Everyone, meet Patrick. You love the Cleric. Ah, good. I think I might go Cleric. I think I need to stay away from the tank, because that's what I played most recently. I need to do something else, right? I got no heals. I got no heals! Said the Cleric, not healing everyone. Because then, when everyone dies, and then they have a go at you, you should have just been like, read my name, bro. Should have been obvious.
Aspect without breaking the cadence of taking a short break to regenerate.
Cleric is very classic WoW paladin. Not very many offensive skills. I'm okay with that. So, I've not played much of WoW, but if it's like Mercy from Overwatch, where it's like, she is not DPS. Like, her ability is just buffing and healing other people. Like, that is her game. I'm okay with that. I don't need to be fighting other people if I'm a healer. I should be healing people. That should be my go-to thing, right? Revive randomers. That's what I want to do, because then you get to be people's favorites. They're like, oh no, I'm dead. If only there was that one cleric. Judgment takes long to cast without divine infusion. Oh, I so want to look up all the skill trees and augments and stuff like that. It's not augments. Like the different routes you can go down.
As for the combat feel itself, well, I am very pleased with how Intrepid have built the core of their combat design, weaving spells in between weapons.
Oh yeah, the links are blocked, so I'm assuming you're just giving me a link that someone else linked here as well. But yes, the character planning, that's what I want to play around with. I do want to play around with that at some point. Or do I just play for it, just wait, and then play it in-game? Don't know. Don't know. Too many choices. Two options. Too many
combo
choices.
attacks feels very polished, much like Guild Wars 2, as the spells and attacks in Ashes of Creation are not global.
Personally think wait. Yeah, I just want to get into it as soon as possible. I just want to absorb as much as possible. But maybe you should just wait. Maybe you should just wait, Zig. This is what I do with movies as well. I try and refrain from watching any adverts, because all of the adverts and trailers just tell you the best bits of the entire movie. It's like, oh cool, I've seen this bit. In the entire movie, yeah, they're gonna put that in the trailer. And see how it is firsthand. And by the time that I get into it, they may have made some tweaks, right?
Cooldown based, they are animation based. All I would say is that the UI itself just feels like it's missing a little bit of feedback after you use an ability. I would love to see a global cooldown style effect presented on your hotbar spells that reflect the time of the last ability you used. For example, if Brutal Cleave is only a 0.9 cast time as presented on the tooltip, place a 0.9 global cooldown on your abilities to represent that.
Okay, yeah, fair. I don't know how other games do it, but I would assume that that would have been something that they did add eventually. I've definitely played a game where that's been the case. It already does that. Does it? Okay, is it just in the settings? Because that is very basic. That is something that they could easily add. If not, they've probably already thought about it. Like, it's just not in the game yet. But apparently it's already in the game, so. Can't wait until the weekend. It's tomorrow, right? It's tomorrow. Must be an old video. This is their reaction from last weekend. So this is 22 hours ago. Maybe it's a setting you can play around with.
Overall, the class design based off of people's feedback has been generally positive, with only really the tank and ranger receiving heavy critiques.
Tank and
abilities
ranger.
to represent that. Overall, the class design
I played Bard for the weekend, and the combat felt very streamlined for the player side. However, the enemies were leaving a bit to be desired in the parts that I played. My concern at this stage would probably be how your class feels while you're playing it. Just expect the AI and the mobs to be like training dummies. Like, don't expect them to be anything interesting at this point, right? Was that for you? Okay. Don't know. Wait, so did it change halfway through? Did they have an update? You found the hard... Okay. The mob's hard. What do you mean by leaving a bit to be desired in the parts that you played? The weapon skill tree had some interesting elements, but mostly just felt plain in terms of the choices. Overall, I think the combat is going to be very good, and with a lot of improvement in weapons and other mechanics, it will shine. Good. Good. Excited. Hype.
based off of people's feedback has been
Hype, hype, hype. Enemies should be more responsive next go around. Fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, like the last weekend will hopefully be the worst that it feels. I know system and network might be terrible on November 8th, but the feel of the game is just going to get better and better. I wonder how, this is like not, this isn't like not important and I have no effect on this, but I wonder how the devs take their feedback, because they're not taking it from just content creators. They've got to be taking it from like a wider pool. Because all the content creators and people that post videos and all these disgusting, ugly troglodytes of streamers, I hate them. I spit on their graves. Like, don't listen to them. Like, they're just minority, right? Rolling your second character was easier. Fantastic. They read all the discords and forums. Good. Good. Excellent. So is that the best way to give feedback? I guess they just aggregate it. That's the answer, isn't it? They aggregate all the information that they get from Discord, forums, videos. They also have analytics. I saw that. That was a very good thing. What did they say about it? Are you going to say it in a second? And analytics more important than feedback. That's it. Yeah, analytics more important than feedback. If people say that actually the ranger is like OP, is like secretly OP, and then you look at all the analytics and it's like, actually they are the worst class in the entire game. Like, your subjective feedback isn't that important. Sorry. It's the data that you're feeding into the overall analytics. Yeah. It's the same with, I don't know if anyone's played Dead by Daylight, but I love that game. Haven't played for a while. The information that people were saying to the devs didn't actually happen in real life. Like, people saying, oh, this killer is really, like, overpowered. And then they'll look at the analytics and be like, it's in the middle of the killers. Like, what are you talking about? The numbers don't lie or have opinions. True. Yeah. Good.
generally positive, with
General feel of the combat and class design. From a ranged perspective, the combat is probably the best part of the game at the moment. I really enjoy the movement and how active and responsive it feels. In these aspects, it feels close to Garden Wars 2. GW2. That is Plants vs. Zombies Garden Wars 2. Garden Warfare 2. Which is a big positive for me. Why are they referring to Plants vs. Zombies? Weird. Bad data in is bad data out. True. And it's also how you look at data, because data can be manipulated as well, right? With the current direction and having this iteration as a base, I'm very hopeful about its future. Mage, level 13, is the only class I played, mostly in a group setting. At the current stage, I generally enjoyed and had fun with it. The elemental empowerment mechanic makes for some interesting interactions with weapon attacks and its procs, but I do get the feeling they should be a bit more impactful and think about what other options could be explored with this. Yeah, I don't know how that feels at the moment, so. That would only be true in small sample sizes. What about, well, like, data being manipulated? You could misread data. You can misread numbers. Or you can present the numbers in a way to further your cause. Most of the spells on the kit feel good and impactful to use, contrary to what some people said before the test. I did feel like a spellcaster. There might be a space for some more utility skills in the future without risking homogenizing it with other classes can do. Another thing I found myself thinking about is how the elemental empowerment could be developed to engage with more than one element and interact with the spells itself. Something akin to the Weaver in Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. Which basically weaves two elements together and creates new synergies between... Okay, how would that work out? How would that look? Give me an example. I'm there for it. Also, I've not played Guild Wars 2, so I don't know what the reference is. Since the full kit is yet to be finished, and by the, and the time was also limited, it's a bit hard to form a strong, more in-depth opinion. On the side note, I was lucky to play along with a bard most of the time. And let me just say, you do notice when you're not with one. So bards are loved, clerics are probably loved majority of the time. Tanks, people aren't really feeling. Oh, it's such a hard decision. How do you know? How do you know what the right option is? You just play around with it. You do everyone. That's it. You just play around with everyone.
Only really the tank and ranger receiving heavy critique.
This is coming from a bard. I felt that it does a good job with the class fantasy. Yeah. I like the musical notes. Combat felt responsive, and the slide felt really good, even able to do a quick 180 at the end. Never really had to rest solo between the self-heal and mana regen song. Party gameplay felt good, even though mostly sat in MP song to try and keep all MP maxed. That's what I'm assuming the bard's gonna end up doing a lot of the time. One thing I noticed is randomly songs would stop being played and other times they wouldn't. Just get good. Just get good.
The bard, in particular, has received huge amounts of praise across the board by players playing them.
Still curious what you would think of Bitcraft, but that's not for now. Could you remind me what Bitcraft is? I remember you saying. I need a WAS, so I'm gonna leave you for a second. Yeah. Another MMO that's in alpha. Let me have a quick look. Bitcraft. Is it Minecraft? This is not... Oh, I think I've seen this. I've seen of it. I don't think, me personally, I could spend very long in this game because of the aesthetics. It's very colorful. It's very bright. It's very in your face. It's very like this kind of style I like for a short game, like an 8-hour game. But for an MMO, I don't know. I guess it's like the Legends of Zelda games. But even then, they're relatively shorter than an MMO. Even though they are massive games, right? Right, okay. I'm gonna love you and leave you. I'll see you in a sec. Gonna play some random music at you. That's definitely not the one song that I found. There you go.
Un tenebris venic monstros mirabile, oculis fulgurantibus inimaginabile, serpentis caudet corvus rostrum terrori nocturni nomen illutatur. Insomniis venit, vigiles perterescit, frenit arcano, animas te turbat, sub luna silente cunta pervagatur, od zigzag tenuis visio mentes captat. Silidon, che nun tremit, Silidon, fames nupam mugit, Silidon, terror fervet, Silidon, omnes servet. Narrationes cantate in notte, legendes secunde, in fole absente, exulant homines, siglido nefandi, tremunt terrementa, omni die fati, universa transversa, forma mutabile, abi memorabili tempore vastum, capabile, quam satiatus, nunquam deficient, siglidon eterni verum, et falsum perime. Silidon, che nun tremit, Silidon, fames nupam mugit, Silidon,
Oh, hey you. How's it going? Been up to much? Anything interesting? Where were we? Thank you. I managed it. It's a bit awkward at times, but God really helped me through it. And here we are. Mind if you send a video in Discord? Go for it. Absolutely. Did I sit? That's an extremely personal question. This is your first warning. Hey Truth, how's it going? How are you? Truth, welcome. Sorry. I am joking. I'm joking. I'm just trolling you. It's fine. Don't ask it again. You will never know. I don't know you enough, Arrows. I'll tell you maybe in the future. We are chatting about everything that comes up, basically. Everything and anything. At the moment, we're watching a video about combat from dear old Narg. But other than that, whatever comes up. Yes, you can send something in the Discord. Yeah, I'll have a look at it after this. No worries. So there was the Bard.
and players grouping with them, complementing the
Combat was surprisingly fun. 2 secs. I am missing something. Beautiful. Waiting on your rice to finish. Are you having anything with your rice? Okay, we're back? We're back? Okay, everyone shut up. Hopefully Penguin didn't see that. Beef stroganoff! Excellent. Good choice. I don't actually know what's happening. Tonight, what are we having? I don't think we have a plan. Probably just chocolate. Just chocolate on its own. Do you like my Halloween costume? Can you guess what I am? Was I muted? Yes. Yeah, I need to work out a way for my cable to not leave my mic. I need to just stop playing with it, basically. I'm a fidgeter. Speaking of which, where did my dice go? Anywho, ashes. From Sizzlin. This alpha is an alpha 2 with focus on networking and systems. Let's have a read, shall we? Number 1. Combat was surprisingly fun. Only played the fighter, and that seemed the best kit design-wise to me. Still had some issues, especially with the skill tree still feeling very subpar to other games. It's an alpha, you're right. Only saw the fighters as well. And also, you could only get up to, well, like, what's the furthest people got up to? Like, level 13? But I find myself really enjoying the grind. Good. An enjoyable grind is always sublime. That doesn't rhyme. And surprisingly, the action camera mode the most. Please add inertia to the jump, like in WoW. People don't like that. People, I've heard, don't like the inertia for the jump. What do you guys think? Should the jump have inertia? Didn't enjoy the character-specific power, bars, being now wrapped around the class icon instead of as 4th standard bar under stamina? Wait, what? Didn't enjoy the character-specific power bars being now wrapped around the class icon instead of as a 4th standard bar under stamina. Okay, no, I do understand. I do think it has potential, but I often found myself not remembering that it was there following my momentum stats. Class-specific designs need level of detail similar to Bard, for sure. Looking forward to the Rogue, secondary augments down the line. Yes, everyone is. Everyone is. Yeah, so Alpha 2 is, yeah, it's all networking and systems. So much feedback about balancing. It's not about balancing, you're right. Feel, I think that at this stage you should have a little bit of game feel. Because if you don't have any game feel at this point, then I'd be worried. I don't care about anything else. But if it feels good, the game feel is good at this stage, then it's promising. No inertia, I agree. Hey, arrows, thanks. Or no arrows. What should I call you? Arrowless? No inertia. I would say no inertia. Why would you want inertia? What was the purpose of inertia in WoW? Who wants that? Who wants that? Think the feedback is valid for future updates. Yeah. I mean, for us, we're reading it and we're like, this isn't important, but I guess the devs will just filter out the gubbins that they don't need. Yes, that's the thing. You should not expect the devs to make immediate changes. So if we see, like, a couple of weeks down the line, people still saying about stuff that they're not testing, then they're kind of just wasting their own time, right? I got okay.
the playstyle and
The one option that I didn't choose.
utility that they offer. If Intrepid can bring the other 5 archetypes
Combat and class design. Combat definitely feels good and responsive, and knowing it will continue to improve over the next 6 fucking years, I'm not worried about it in the slightest. Yeah, I'm the same. The only thing I don't really like and I'm worried they might not change is the fact that you get slowed when you start attacking. Just feels bad. Other than that, great direction. The slowing when attacking. Just from a non-MMO perspective, playing other games, I think you should be slowed when you attack. But how much by? I guess it's if they're running away and you start attacking them, and then they just run away a bit longer. Like for any D&D players, like you don't get any opportunity of attack, so you just have to keep catching up to them. I guess that could feel a bit bad. I don't know. Yeah, we've just not played enough MMOs to really have an opinion on that. Ranger called, I got no arrows. Cleric, I got no heals. Bard, I've got no buffs. Excellent. Have you got a name for all of them? Hopefully it'll be Summoner, I got no pets, and it is a pet class. Gotta learn to use your hand strings and CC. Yes, that's it. It's the CC, right? Like, you can't just expect to run up to someone, like, in real life even, punch them, and then for them to not want to just run away. Like, you've got one tackle, and that's it. You can't run and punch at the same time. You could, but if you're both at the same movement speed, they should be able to get away. IMO. IMO. Class design of the Bard is unique and feels good, and it has an identity. Yeah, that's what I like about it. The other classes feel very basic identity-wise. I would disagree for the Mage. I think the Mage feels very magey. But I do like the Bard. I think the Bard could potentially, because it has it. Yeah, you're right. It does have the most identity behind it. With the archetypes, like, is that just gonna exponentially explode? So you're just gonna have like crazy like visual effects to it.
up to the Bard's level, the game's class design will be in a very good place to build upon.
Combat felt really good as a mage and was fun getting into melee range once I found a two-handed spell sword. Lightning Strike especially felt really impactful and nice to use. I think the overall design needs some work. I would prefer that the different elements, other than arcane, be on individual trees to add some variety between mages. I think having some additional arcane spells, especially some more useful non-combat spells, would be great. Light spell is nice for group photos. So the light spell is like, yeah, it's like a utility spell. Are there any areas where you actually need to use the light spell? Should there be an area where you can't see unless you use the light spell? Or like you use a torch or something, you use something to be able to see. Like you get into a cave in that Pokemon game and you've not learnt Flash yet. And it's just, you're just walking around in the dark. Most of the spells I had as a level 12 mage felt good, and using frost and lightning spells to shatter enemies was very satisfying. It looks satisfying, very satisfying. I thought I wasn't going to like the lightning ball, but it surprised me. Seeing all the numbers as my lightning ball went through a pack of enemies was One thing I noticed is that I stopped using my arcane missiles once I had my elemental combos, because arcane didn't play into the other elements. This makes the mage feel like an elementalist. Is there an elementalist in the class list. Because then they would be basically like queuing up loads of combos, I'm guessing. That seems interesting, right? If you had a class that's like 100% just about comboing, that's what they do. And if you goof up the combo, tough luck, buddy. Makes the mage feel like an elementalist instead of a proper wizard. Adding additional arcane spells and having those interplay with your other spells would add a lot more variety to the mage's playstyle and overall feel. Okay.
I think Intrepid have done a good job with most of the archetypes, with a couple of effect presented on your hotbar.
What was he actually saying
ability.
during
I
all
would
of this?
love to see a global cooldown style effect presented on your hotbar spells that reflect the time of the last ability you used. For example, if Brutal Cleave is only a 0.9 cast time, as presented on the tooltip, place a 0.9 global cooldown on your abilities to represent that. Overall, the class design, based off of people's feedback, has been generally positive, with only really the tank and ranger receiving heavy critique. The Bard, in particular, has received huge amounts of praise across the board by players playing them and players grouping with them, complementing the playstyle and utility that they offer. If Intrepid can bring the other 5 archetypes up to the Bard's level, the game's class design will be in a very good place to build upon. I think Intrepid have done a good job with most of the archetypes, with a couple of them just lacking in the identity department.
Bard
This
would have
is
been
mainly
one-
towards the mage and
The
ranger.
hardest one to get right. Like, thematically, I think they probably nailed it. I think they did well with the Bard. And they could have absolutely goofed it up. Too many people playing Bards now, though. Yeah, just because it looks good. And it's different, right? You don't get to see very many well-themed Bards in games. Like, with visual aspects of it.
In
It's
the
just
hopes
like,
that
they cast speed. They cast haste on you. Congrats.
their class mechanic gets further fleshed out to represent their role, and also with unique UI elements that enhance their moment-to-moment playstyles. My only real critique with the cleric, really, is that it doesn't seem to represent both the life and death aspects that the team originally alluded to. I would love to see the cleric have
What do they mean about life and death? What do the devs say about the cleric? Oh, it's been so long since I saw the cleric dev video. Do we care about the death side of it? Like when you get into necromancery stuff, is that when the death aspect like really plays into it?
very good place to build upon. I think Intrepid have done a good job with most of the archetypes, with a couple of them just lacking in the identity department. This is mainly towards the mage and ranger in the hopes that their class mechanic gets further fleshed out to represent their role, and also with unique UI elements that enhance their moment-to-moment playstyles. My only real critique
What would you say for that? The UI looks different for the ranger. What would need to look different for it to be better gameplay? The cleric has great big heals. That's all I want it to do, right? Like a little bit of buffing, a little bit of healing, some damage, but I wouldn't associate the cleric with death. Right? It's more about life. It's like the opposite. Like balancing life and death. I mean, you're like, your whole thing is just resurrecting someone. Yeah, and damage, yeah. The cleric's got to be a bit tanky. It's like a tanky heal. I would say that a cleric is a bit more tanky heal than a healer. Like, I would put a healer in a different class altogether. Like, where that's purely, like, healing and stuff. But a cleric is about damage, self-sustain, buffing. the burn stacks as well. Yeah. Plan to do a cleric fighter. That should work out, right? To self-sustain. Could see that coming in more with secondary class. Yes. Cleric. High priest. That's it. High priest. That'll be it. So in Overwatch, Mercy is like just a healer. They're just a healer. They're a healer and a buffer, right? I want the High Priest to be that. Like, their one goal is to just make sure that no one dies on their team, and that they get to do like resurrections and stuff like that. I would like it to get that higher healing to remove some of the other stuff that people would associate with a cleric. So remove some of the like attacking and the burning and stuff like that. Templar. Cleric fighter. What about them? What about the Templar? I think maybe, yeah. It's getting confused. Oh. Oh, looking at the diagram. Right. Tempest. It's a Templar. Gotcha. Yeah. Templar, be good, yeah. Some self-sustain, some damage. I like that. What's Summoner? Shaman. What would they do? Again, a Shaman, I wouldn't associate with Cleric Summoner. But maybe they do it justice. I don't know. Base class on the left-hand side, right? So, yeah, I agree. Base class at the top or down the side. But it's got base class here. Is it that? Does it go that way? Does it go this way? Oh, I've been doing this the entire time. Has no one seen my mouse? Okay. Okay, maybe what I've been saying hasn't been making any sense. That's okay. Yeah, I think it's down the side, right? So yeah, High Priest, I don't know how they're going to do it, but I kind of want it to be like super healer. And to be a superhero, you need to like remove some of the other stuff that the cleric has, like some of the damage dealing.
Critique with the cleric really is that it doesn't seem to represent both the life and death aspects that the team originally alluded.
Basically want to neuter a high priest. I think that's what I want. I want a neutered high priest that can only heal.
To. I would love to see the cleric have some more death-style spells added to its roster to contrast the healing and give it a bit more utility for controlling or dealing damage. Spamming weapon attacks is generally not very interesting for an archetype, and I do feel like we've evolved beyond the era of healers just being healers.
Okay, so he completely disagrees with me. That's fair. That's fair. If only we had 63 other classes to choose from, though. Like, if you want to be a cleric, you could be anything, right? You've already got the cleric-y side of things. Like, the protector is going to be a ranger, so, like, damage output, buffs, shields. Not sure. Oh, do we know if these, like, super archetypes, the ones down the middle, do they have... Is it any more beneficial choosing these over the others, or are they all equal? I just ask because they kind of highlighted them here.
they should contribute to damage and control if they can, and thus giving them more options through death magic would be a considerable improvement to the archetype, as the healing portion, I feel, is in a great place at the moment. My
Cool.
favorite spell is, by far, the Flash Heal, which is a 3-charge instantaneous spell that is off the global cooldown. It feels very good to press due to its output and responsiveness. Finally, I also want to allude
Which makes me want to play Cleric
to a forum
for the heals.
post made by another fellow cleric way back when the NDA was first released, explaining how he feels like the divine power mechanic doesn't feel very good. As I have only been grinding brainless goblins, I cannot confidently say that I fully grasped the potential of divine power. However, I will say this: the cleric has so much more potential, and I really genuinely feel like they could do so much better if they tapped into the death magic. I imagine a really cool mechanic for the cleric
Go
could
on.
be a push and pull between life and death, very similar to the balance druid in World of Warcraft. And as I play more and learn more about the cleric throughout future weekend tests, I'll be sure to do a deep dive about it in the hopes Ashes of Creation can create a healer that truly stands above all other MMORPG.
The healer that has insta-kill. I don't know what the... whatever he just said. The who?
In the hopes that the cleric, similar to the cleric, could be a push and pull between life and death, very similar to the balance druid in World of Warcraft.
Balance druid. So what would it be? Like, the more heals you do, the more health? Wait a second. How's that work? So the more heals you do, the more life balance you get? Which means what? That you do more heal? Or should it be the more heal you do, the stronger your death magic gets? So you want to heal, power up the death magic as much as possible, and then use the death magic, and then it resets the balance. And then if you're using like a lot of death magic, it's like attack, and then you cast like an ultra super, like, this is the best healing ability that you'll do, because you've not healed for a big time, you've just been doing damage, and then bam, you do like a massive heal or something. Second one. Okay. Is that what it's like in the balance druid?
And as I play more and learn more about the cleric throughout future weekend tests, I'll be sure to do a deep dive about it in the hopes Ashes of Creation can create a healer that truly stands above all other MMORPGs. But as usual, I am just one nerd, desperate for a good MMO, and my opinion means nothing without...
Honestly, I kind of wouldn't listen to Narc when it comes to talking about clerics. That's his go-to class. Anything he said in that video was just to get his favorite class OP. That's just me, though. He likes the healing, think it's great. He wants more damage on a healer. I want extremes. I want a whole range. I would prefer for there to be a route to be like the best healer, like the best healer, where you are. Is there like a better like MMO reference I can use here? Because all I can think of is like Mercy from Overwatch, what's her name, Dagger from Final Fantasy 9, like an actual healer. Like, they do shit damage. They've got a tiny little pistol and they go pew pew pew. Like, they cannot like defend themselves. They need other people buffing them, other people defending them. There's someone like, oh look, they've got like the best healer in the game, we need to get them. But then the bards and the other people that like the brood warden or whatever like has to defend the healer because the healer is doing OP healing. But again, at the end of the day, or at the end of the century, look what we have. We have all of this. So this can be our range. We can have Narc's perfect class. We could have my perfect class for healer. We have the options. Hopefully there's enough variety between the archetypes, right? Good heals, but giving him a lot of damage. Everyone will want to play a healer. Yeah, you don't want a healer damage. It's like, okay, I want a mage, but I also want a lot of healing with them as well. Sustain out the wazoo, just killing people easily. That seems shit. True. They need other stuff. It needs to be IMO, and again, Narc has a lot more experience in MMOs than I do. But I've played a few games in my life. I'd want the more healing route you go down, or the more divine route you go down, for a cleric, the less damage you do. Now that could be you get more healings, or you get like more buffs, or more utilities. Like a cleric can do other things, like pulls or pushes or anything like that. What's the cleric and bard called? Cleric and bard. Cleric bard. Which one? That way and that way. It's the scryer. Scryer. That sounds awesome. That's like a perfect name for a cleric bard. I just love like the lore implications of all of these. Like just looking at them, you're like cultist. Immediately you have an idea of what you've got in your head. I don't know how it will work out exactly, but I don't know how it works out in a rogue setting, but cultist, you know what you're getting, right? Although we don't know what we're getting, but you feel like you do. But a scryer, yeah. A scryer is bard is all about the arts, all about creating, about writing. I love it. I love the names. I really love the names. And bard minstrel is like the perfect name. That would be OP. What's that? Which bit? Scryers. A cleric. Cleric bard. Oh, no one knows what the secondary types are gonna do to your primary, do we? So it could do anything. For all we know, it's just gonna be like, hey, you get 3 more skill slots from another class. Like a cleric bard will just get, you now have 3 of the bard's spells. Congrats. Imagine the mobility and healing. That'd be super annoying. What, for a scryer? My understanding is you don't get any new skills. Ooh, good. 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 Good? Is that good? Don't know. Don't know how I feel about that. Just augment to them. I'm okay with that. I like that. As long as it augments them and gives them a different feel. The Necromancer needs to feel different to a Brood Warden. Or different to a... Where's the other one? Wildblade. Like, Necromancer and Wildblade need to feel different. They are 2, like, completely different things. No new skills, what's the point in the augments then? Let's say that you've got a summoner, and they have an ability that's like... I don't know... Like, summon... Fire Spirit. Why am I choosing ones that aren't even out yet? Let's choose one that's actually out. So you've got Fighter. So you've got like the... Actually, haven't they spoken about this very slightly? So if you've got the Fighter, was it like the Bard? Someone has a role. But if you have a Bard with a Mage, that role becomes like a mini Blink. So instead of having like a roll animation, you would have a blink animation. So maybe it like takes you a bit further. Or you would have a roll and then you mix it in with a rogue, and actually instead of the roll you get like a very temporary invisibility, something like that. I don't know, I've not even played it yet. Said some will majorly change some spells. Tweaks. Yeah, I don't know. I think they'll do fine. Whatever they end up doing, I have faith in them. I have faith. Like, this is a big ask to fill out all of these. So some of them will be completely different. Some of them will just be slight alterations, right? Cool.
Out yours in the comments below. And hey, still plenty more to milk for the first weekend, including Soda Poppin's little hissy fit, and what to expect from this weekend's test. So make sure you're subscribed for more of the good stuff, and come join the stream over at twitch.tv/Narcoverse, and I'll see you in the next one, because you're high on copium.
Cool. Well, that is that. There's the link. Remember to like and subscribe, guys. So, yeah. Interesting. What did we learn? We learned that some of the classes feel good. Tank's a bit rubbish. Rogue's a bit rubbish. Mage good. Bard good. Healer needs more damage output. On its own, probably not. But a cleric fighter, yes. A cleric mage, yes. Acolyte, 100% agree with you. Soul Weaver, that just sounds awesome. You can't even see that one. Oh, not rogue, sorry. Ranger, sorry. You love rogues. Rogues look good. Rogues actually look good, from what I've seen. Which isn't a lot, because it's not out yet. I'm sorry, I meant Ranger. But yeah. So that was that. We had another one.
Look at all the
Is it this one? There was something. Oh, we've not seen this one. This is one that I nearly watched and then didn't. So we can check out Nice Gaming. Hi, Nice. How's it going? Probably shouldn't cover up your face, right? It's a bit rude. We can go up here. I don't think I've ever watched a Nice video. Does he say, "What's up, guys"? Because if he doesn't, I'm not subscribing.
progress we have for Jova. All these hours, all this grinding, it's all come to this. Oh my god. Sawman's trying to kill me.
Oh, this is just
Can we get
experience.
Ashes of Creation? Can we get it?
Oh, this is like a highlights. Oh, man. There was another one that I had somewhere. Let me bring it up and I'll find it. Unless anyone...
So the first non-indie...
Yeah, we've not seen this. Oh, and Narc has literally just done another video as well.
Alpha 2 test weekend for Ashes of Creation has come and gone. There were ups and there were downs. So
How
it's
many
time that I
downs?
sit down and talk about my first impressions. So I've told you guys before, I'll never lie to you. I'll always be real with my thoughts. I'm not a fanboy.
I am over people saying that. I'm so over people saying that. I get it. You're telling your opinion, and you're not holding it back. Do you need to tell us that? Why is everyone at the moment telling us that? I'm not one to hold my opinion back. Yeah, we know. We know. You're like you're telling us your opinion. I don't know, maybe I'm tired. Maybe I didn't get enough sleep last night. Right, this is just my opinion. I've never been one to hold back my opinion. but I am streaming. I am doing content. It's for self-advertisement. I don't know. It feels disingenuous. Maybe I'm just not in the game properly. But just, I don't know. It just grosses me out for some reason. Like, nothing against this guy. It's something that people say. I just have a lot of icks when it comes to just being a human. And that's one of them.
So the first...
That's just my opinion, bro. Like, I've never been one to hold it back. Like, I'm going to tell you what I actually feel. I'm not going to withhold anything that I'm actually feeling. Even though telling you everything that I'm feeling is literally the point of me doing this video. I'm not a content creator. I'm just a silly little person that's in a room with a pumpkin streaming. But actual content creators, the bread and butter of this community, the people that are actually creating stuff, as opposed to rubbish people like this that are doing just react content. Like, it's just more beneficial to tell everyone everything you're thinking, right? Why would you withhold any information? Wait until we start making YouTube reviews. Be like, I'm not a fanboy. I don't know. Oh. I'm tired, okay? I'm tired. The little one was up late last night. Roria, I'm sorry. I have nothing against you. I just have something against the words that you're saying.
Non-NDA Alpha 2 test weekend for Ashes of Creation has come and gone. There were ups and there were downs. So it's time that I sit down and talk about my first impressions. So I've told you guys before, I'll never lie to you. I'll always be real with my thoughts. I'm not a fanboy. I'm not a white knight. I've made plenty of videos expressing my dislikes for, some of Ash's systems, but I'm also not a doomer. So I'm not going to sit here and try and beat the game to death. I just want a good MMO, and I will try them all until I find it. So first off, how did my weekend go? Well, I would say it went pretty well. I had a good time. There was a bit of a delay on Friday, as most of you know, around 3 or 4 hours or so. And as soon as the servers were up, I logged in almost immediately with no queue whatsoever.
Super lucky. Loads of people were having the issue with the queue to get in, right?
I got lucky, but I always main tank.
That's what I just said.
In every MMO that I play, and I knew
you'll do a reaction of my reactions of reaction videos on your Twitch channel. Thanks. I'll make a YouTube video of me reacting to that. At some point, it's very difficult to figure out where your camera goes because you're just covering up everyone.
knew that my guild and my group already had
Reactception.
some tank players, so I decided to try Ranger. As soon as I zoned into the cathedral, I was instantly surrounded by hundreds of players. You would pick up your first quest to kill 3 goblins on your way down the hill, but you were even lucky if you could get a tag on any of these goblins because there were so many people.
Yeah. Did they say if they were gonna add another entrance point, like to begin with? Just not have a camera to make your reaction even harder. And no mic either. It's just going to be a silent reaction. And then I'll have to react to your silent reaction of my reaction.
We knew this was going to be an issue, funneling thousands of players per server into a single starting point. This is always going to be an issue with no mob sharing, no server instancing, no sharding. It will get...
No sharding? There's no sharding in this game? I spent $120 on this. There's no sharding?
better when the rest of the map is, opened up and there are some more starting areas, but also...
No sharking? There's no sharking either? No sharting or sharking? But what if I need to shard? Sorry, 2 seconds, just checking something. Oh my goodness, what is my life? What am I doing? Talking about sharting. Who am I kidding? This is the best conversation to have. It's really not. Just shut up. Just shut up, me. Just continue watching the nice man's video. Ba 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 da ba da scoop doop doop doo. And proceed. Shirting? I don't know. Should we go back? Waiting for the game.
To a single starting point. This is always going to be an issue with no mob sharing, no server.
No mom sharing. Okay. So you can't have siblings. There's only one mum per person. Got it?
Server instancing, no sharding.
No sharting.
It will get better when the rest of the map is, opened up and there are
Oh, there's going to be a new starting zone. Good. Is it going to be enough? Because I imagine that there's going to be a massive amount of people coming on for November 8th. Comparatively to what they've got at the moment. Like, it's going to be more than doubled, I'm guessing. Do you get to choose? Do you get to choose your starting zone, or is that based off of race?
are some more starting areas, but also the amount of players are going to increase as well, so maybe not. There are supposed to be like 8, I think.
Envy you guys a lot for getting to experience that. You get to choose. What, get to experience... What, playing the game? Or just being able to choose your starting area? Well, it depends on where it is, right? Probably would want to start off at Lion's Hold just because I actually wanted to see what it's about. Valen's starting point.
I think starter areas for 10,000 players on a
Your race, hopefully. Yeah, I don't know. Will they... would they make you choose in the alpha? Or would they just be like, you guys choose between yourselves? Desert boys! Let's go! I would... Yeah. I don't know. I think I want to see Lionhold. Just because people get there and like, whoa! This place is amazing! We're actually playing the game! And then you get hype for it. And then all of a sudden you've got to run away and get as much distance between you and all the other spawners as possible.
full server. Still sounds like congestion to me, but we'll see.
It's just a cold. Calm down. I'll get over it.
The overall performance was as you would expect. Stuttery, rubber bandy, low FPS, and even unresponsive in some areas, but not always. Depending on where you were, you couldn't really tell it apart from a regular game. Remember, Ashes is using server meshing and gridding.
Is it? Is it at the moment? I thought it wasn't. Thought that wasn't out yet. Thought they just start on the left or right now. I don't know. When does the desert come out? Should know that. As long as the desert touches the sea. So when the node is upgraded, you get a dock. Oh, yes! Oh my goodness, is that gonna happen? Wait, when does the naval stuff come out? Is that phase 3 or phase 2? I should bring up the phases again. Do 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 do. Oh, that's that. We'll bring it up some other time. Naval was phase 3. That's okay. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect the naval stuff to come out until either beta or even full release or past full release.
Some of the server workers definitely seem to be running a lot better than others, depending on, players in the area, etc. So some areas were not great, while others, they kind of felt, perfect.
Everyone who's already played, everyone who's already been in, how did you choose your server? Was it just like you find a guild, you find other players and you just choose one? Because for US, isn't one of them like supposed to be heavy PvP hardcore people, and then the other two are just like casuals? Is that the same stuff for EU? have they like arranged themselves into, you know, different roles yet?
Perfect. I am running a Ryzen 9 7950X and an RTX 3080 Ti.
Okay, so yours is better than mine, so low frame rates. How low? How low are these frame rates? I can deal with 60. 60 is okay. Too many languages and global to read. That's... I did think about that. I don't know, wouldn't there be some latency? Wouldn't there be some technological words to that? That give you a... Wouldn't it give you a better experience on EU? I guess it's how much do you want to engage with other people in the global chat. I'm probably not going to. No issues on the US servers. Which one did you go on? Out of interest.
Generation or so behind, but my PC is no slouch. I was on about 50 FPS on 1440p.
Yeah, that's good. Vira, cool. Is it Vera or Vira?
And cinematic settings, which is the max, but you know, we must remember, we are not playing a game. We are testing a project, a work in progress. There's no optimization, no polish, no balance. Everything that you saw this weekend will most likely not exist in, 6 months, a year, 2 years. It's all going to change, get reworked, adjusted, improved, or
Vira. Because it's like Vera, but not, right? It's Vira. I don't know, haven't decided. Need to decide. Only I had a week, like an entire week to decide. Oh wait, I do. Same with class. Don't know what server. Haven't decided what class. I will play around with all the different classes, see what I like, what I vibe with most.
That's just the phase that we are in. So you really can't get
to Vira, maybe. I don't know. Depends on... I don't think I can do US just because my internet is actually a bit shocking. So I don't know if that's going to have an impact on my gameplay. Don't need good internet. But the latency? Wait, what are the words? What are the tech words? Ping? Ping. What about the ping? Yeah, but what's your internet?
Upset about anything or get attached to anything, just leave your feedback and kind of go on about your day. So, after about 4 hours or so into my first play session with almost no major issues, I got stuck in the terrain. I couldn't move, so I pulled up the menu and I went to click unstuck.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh dear. That is awful. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm gonna end up doing that at some point. That is not cool. That is not cool. Why would you put log out right next to unstuck? Who would do that? Who's in charge of the menus? They are evil. 1 gigabyte, you're already better than mine. By a million degrees.
In my haste, I accidentally clicked...
I just get really weird upload. Font was awful, couldn't read anything. Yeah, they were saying that they need to change the font settings, right? Like have it bigger or smaller.
Menu, and I went to click unstuck. And in my haste, I accidentally clicked log out instead. I was dumb. I rushed it. I did not read.
But, give me a but.
But whoever decided to put the log out button right next to the unstuck button, well played.
That's what I said.
In the queue, I went around 2 hours before I was able to log.
This guy is literally telling us all the truth and he's not holding back anything. I like it. Oh, I've muted him. I'm sorry. That was not intentional, sir. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Class. And I really wasn't vibing with the ranger. I'm gonna give it another shot, but I wasn't vibing, so I decided to swap to the fighter and start all over. The classes, they are fun. Fighter, cleric, and bard seem especially popular. There are some really interesting interactions between the classes that adds almost a... there are some...
This stuff is going to annoy me. Watch here.
Really interesting interactions between the classes that adds...
I don't know what this is called,
refreshing
but
take
whatever that
on,
is.
MMO combat synergies, tanks applying stagger, and then other classes
Not being
have
able
trigger
to
that
attack them. So
MMO combat actions between...
What is this? What is causing
Cleric
this?
and bard
Is
seem
it the fact
especially
that
popular.
actually the
There are
enemy
some
isn't there?
really interesting...
Is it the fact that you just can't interact with it? Or is it the fact that it's not there, it's somewhere else? S-Fan did that too. What, just log out? I'm gonna do it. That is intentional. Whoever did that intentionally to screw with people. Especially the fact that there wasn't a confirm. Like, is there a confirm? There wasn't a confirm. Like, do you want to log out? Yes or no? Did you press this button by accident? Yes or no?
With almost no major issues, I got stuck in the terrain. I couldn't move, so I pulled up the menu and I went to click unstuck. And
yeah, it just needs a, are you sure you want to log out?
In my haste, I accidentally clicked log out instead. I was dumb, I rushed it, I did not read. But whoever decided to put the log out button right next to the unstuck button, well played.
GG's.
So into the queue I went.
GG's
around 2
all
hours
round.
before I was able to log back in. I normally don't play a ranged class, and I really wasn't vibing with the ranger. I'm gonna give it another shot, but I wasn't vibing, so I decided to swap to the fighter and start all over. The classes, they are fun. Fighter, cleric, and bards.
How many levels do you need to get into a class to really have a feel for them, to have a vibe with them? Is it 10? 4? Do you just need to get up to 4? Okay. That's easy, isn't it? People were saying that they could get to level... Was it level 3 or level 4 in 30 minutes?
Seem especially popular. There are some really interesting interactions between the classes that adds almost a refreshing take on like MMO combat synergies, tanks applying stagger, and then other classes have to trigger that stagger.
That's amazing. I love that. I love combos. Love combos. 4 in 30 minutes. Cool.
To knock down the target.
So yeah, within one session, you should be able to... actually, because you have to... I don't know how the login or the server access works, but would you have to re-queue after each class?
And do a little CC, bleeds being ruptured for big damage, clerics using bless on a teammate's weapon to trigger mana regen for both of them. There's a lot less on a teammate. Bleeds being ruptured for big damage, clerics using bless on a teammate's weapon to trigger mana regen.
Like the conversations that you're gonna have in Discord chat, just gonna be like frozen, and then they go for a shatter. You go bleed, you go for a rupture. It's just gonna be so good. So good. It's like, what was that game that everyone said flopped, but I actually really enjoyed it? That was all about combos. Anthem? Anthem! If you're gonna do it, best to do it early our morning, but before all the Americans get on. All the US. I'd be interested to know if there is a certain vibe between the different servers. Because apparently there is one with the US servers. So if there's I don't know. It would be nice in theory if this worked out, but if there was one hardcore, one casual, and then this tiny little one for the role players or something.
For both of them.
And then I go into roleplay.
A lot less of, I'll worry about me and you worry about you mentality, kind of that's popular in other of, current MMOs.
That's the one thing that I'm looking forward to, is that we're all in this together. We all need to call out certain stuff or just get into routine, into a rhythm. We're helping out each other. We're buffing each other, heals, tanks doing aggro attraction. People know not to get the aggro off the tank, that kind of stuff. Will I be role-playing? If there was a role-playing server, then, like, purely a role-player server, at some point I would 100% go into it. Is that the prices will be different per server on release? What? Really? How does that work out? How does that work out? Different prices per server? What would they be able to offer? Because if it's just a money grab for people who can pay more and then those people get like a shorter queue, do I like that? That is pay to play quicker. Brazil server will be cheaper and US will be more expensive. Oh, okay. So it's like the regional prices will change. That makes sense. I think that's okay. Yeah. So some regions won't be the same price. That's okay. US or EU? Well, I am EU. Probably will be playing EU just because I'm just worried that my internet is shocking. UK server will be the most expensive. Can you wait? So how will it work? Will it be different? I don't know. So you've got a UK server. You'll have what, like a Eastern Europe server. And you can only play on the server you paid for. That's interesting. Does anyone else do that? Is that a common thing? Do other MMOs do that as well? Or is that just something that they're going for? What's the benefit for the consumer for doing that? Obviously, the regional prices, people that have a lower wage, lower average wage, like them playing for cheaper, like that just kind of makes sense. But other than that, is there any other benefits?
It's more of a how can I make the party better mindset going around. Parties are talking to each other, helping and discussing about, who's going to be doing what. And in its current state, we are able to swap skill points and change up your build to suit your needs for free and on the fly. This won't always be the case, however, but the feedback I've heard right now is that players really enjoy that freedom.
Is that something? Is that something that's definitely not going to be the case? Have they already said that? Like, I don't imagine it to be the case, but have they confirmed that? An anti-botting thing. Okay. How does that work out then? You won't be tied to a server though, right? You can choose your server.
However, but the feedback I've heard right now is that players really enjoy that freedom.
Do I like that? Do I like that? Like, the default easy answer is that of course you like free respecking. But gameplay wise, maybe I'm just like affected by other games that I'm playing and that just doesn't feel right. What do you mean I can respec? Don't I have to pay something for it? Pros and cons. Pros is that people of the same class can choose different trees or different paths, different skills on the fly. So like, hey, another bard. Hey, let's not do the same thing over and over again and just make each other negligible. Is there any downsides to it? You might be tied to the servers. Ah, interesting. So you can choose which server to subscribe to. And then you just have to play on that server. So if you wanted to swap server, you just stop your subscription for one and then go on to another.
There's no risk or reward or whatever, and just being able to do it whenever you like. So eventually, before you leave town, you're going to have to make sure that your loadout is locked in.
Yes. Okay. I think that would be okay. So you can I'm happy for people to freely change their, well, freely respec if they're in a city or something like that. And this is done so you can't get cheap bot accounts for US servers. Do we know anything about the pricing yet? Pay transfer your remaining subscription time from one to the other. Yeah, I'm okay with it. It sounds like as long as you're not intending to do anything dodgy, you're probably gonna be okay, right?
There's no risk or reward or whatever, and just being able to do it whenever you like. So eventually, before you leave town, you're going to have to make sure that your loadout is locked in. Questing feels lackluster. There are a ton of quests, and most of them don't even feel worth it. You spend time going over yonder to kill 10 skeletons and turn it in for a little bit of glint and like 800 XP. Or you could just go kill an elite mob in a fraction of the time and get a little bit of glint and 1200 XP.
Does that count as like balancing, like quest balancing? Do we care at this point? Maybe we do. Maybe it should be the other way around initially, because then they get to test out people. Oh, it depends on their priorities. What do they want more people to do? Test out the questing systems, test out the mob battles, testing out the PvP. So yeah, maybe that's why they're doing it at the moment. Have low rewards for the quests to kind of push you towards exploring everything else. No helper to show you where the quests are. Yeah, wasn't that why soda poppin'? Is my mic just broken? Did my mic just cut out then? Yeah, wasn't that why soda poppin' quit for a bit? He like couldn't find out how to hand in a quest or something.
While other quests, you know, like a simple fetch quest gives you half of a level. Clearly, there is no balance in, you know, questing reward.
My Blue Yeti mic is fine. Thank you. Thank you. How could you tell? My probably 10-year-old Blue Yeti mic. You have one too. Yeah, it's good. It's decent. It's okay. It's not a fancy sure SM7BX212, but it's good. It's not beta feedback. Yes. 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 Where do I stand? I stand, and this is just my honest opinion, okay? I've never been one to hold back my opinion, okay? Even though it would definitely benefit me to just keep quiet about all my opinions and not have any opinions about anything. But I would say, yeah, maybe just focus on the stuff that's useful at the moment. Like the questing rewards. We know that that's not what they're looking for right now. Like they don't care about the feedback for the questing rewards. Like they're testing network and stability. Like that is something that will come later. Balancing is not for the beginnings of alphas. Yeah. So maybe at the end of the day, maybe we should just keep our opinions to ourselves. I'm joking. I'm just trolling. I love you really. Right. I'm gonna love you and leave you for a second. I need another Waz. So I'm gonna leave you with this beautiful man's face. And just gonna like roll an ad so we don't get any pre-rolls for a sec. So I will see you in 3 minutes. Might grab a drink as well. Go take a break, grab a drink, grab a coffee, grab a tea, grab your preferred poison, and see you in a sec. Going to go enjoy walking the dogs. Enjoy the fresh air. Ciao, ciao. Hey you. How's it going? Where were we? We were talking about stuff and things. Wouldn't it be nice if you could stop the breaks? Just be like, yeah, no more breaks. No more ad breaks, please. I'm back. But no, you just have to sit through it all. Thank you, thank you. Glad to be back. Cool. Yeah, we were talking about, what's that game called again? Oh yeah! Throne and Liberty. What are we doing?
Words yet. It feels much more efficient to just
Watching the Cleric update. Cleric update? Is that what, on their own channel? Is there something I should be watching? From July. Oh, from July. Right. I thought you meant like the Cleric update recently. There is no Cleric update. They haven't done anything recently, have they? Are they gonna have another like development update thing tomorrow? Like another little stream. I like that. It's just a shame that they couldn't have gone on for longer. I understand why they had to leave, because they were having like massive issues, but maybe put in some people who are less required for disasters.
grind mobs. My advice for now, skip the quests that don't really matter unless the quest objective is already in the location that you're going to be grinding anyways. You know, it could all change when it comes down to like node commissions and such, because we got to progress our nodes. But right now, for general, you know, experience gaining, quests, they're just not really holding up. You know, we had a lot of questions about soloing. Is it possible? How does it feel? It is possible.
This guy is part of Genesis. Penguin, are you here? Penguin, look who it is. Penguin. Penguin, you there? Penguin, look what I found. I found them. It's Planendorf. It's them. The real them. Tech, art, and lighting. The real Planendorf. Oh my god. So hyped. I knew they would be appearing again. Did I really just... Is this the screen that I went on a break for? Did I really just leave?
There are regular mobs, and then there are 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star elites. Normal mobs, they're not bad. Most classes can kill 2.
F? Wait, F? What happened? Am I still here? Oh no. Don't F me. I'll F you. What's going on? Don't do that. Welcome back. What happened? I disappeared? Oh no. Which part? The whole stream? Stream died for a sec. Well, thanks for telling me, OBS. You jerk. Stream. Oh, it did. Stream is disconnected, attempting to reconnect. Thanks for telling me very subtly in the corner there. We are back. Steam died for a sec. That's even worse than my stream dying. Oh, it's when I showed the tech guy. They have powers beyond my comprehension. As soon as their name is said 3 times, he's DDoSing you. I feel blessed. Thank you. I've made it. Let me call my mum. Let her know I made it.
2 to 3 of these around your level, perfectly fine. 1-star elites aren't bad, you know, if you take them one at a time for a solo. But 2-star and 3-star elites feel almost impossible to solo. So while soloing is possible, you're going to work very hard at it.
How do we feel about this game not being solo friendly? How do we feel about that? Because I swear we've been told that a million times. Should we be going into this game at all feeling like we can solo it? Like, can you go into a game of... It is solo friendly. Well, solo, when I say solo friendly, like it's harder. It's like it's a lot harder. Like New World, like you can just solo all the way through. But the things I've been told is like it's actually super difficult. Had no issues. What level did you get up to again? Would it be an issue like past X amount of level?
The most efficient way to level is join a party and farm 2 to 3 star elites. It's much quicker, smoother.
15's pretty good. If you mean solo friendly, you can go on and take elites, like 3-star mobs. No, you can't. Okay. So you can... that might be different to what I've, like, assumed at this point by hearing other people. So you could just do the entire thing, just stay away from the extra stars. Didn't kill any 3 stars. Well, that sounds fine. Solo grind to 25. Eventually, you go there. 2-star, yeah. Or you can 2-star. Yeah, would you expect to do a 3-star then? That's okay. So the solo grind to 25, is it bearable? If it's bearable, then I think that's fine. I think that's fine. It's going to be slower, but people might like that. They just want to, you know, do their own thing. Not have to rely on other people or other people to rely on them. You just got wasted. Well, then why... Yeah, well, that makes sense, right? Why would you solo as a cleric? Unless you could get the cleric fighter or cleric mage archetype.
It's a lot more fun. Combat overall is a whole other discussion, which I will be making a completely separate video on, but I personally prefer tab target. Now, I'm not a tab target Andy. I'm not an action combat enjoyer. I like them both. I will play either as long as they are good and they fit the game. In this,
What was everyone else playing? Action tab? Imagine no exploit. The most went 12-13 with 8-man group solo. You need more time. With no exploits, right? Okay. Yeah. So, how different is it? I'm just feeling like, what would both sides say? Because there will be groups that are purely, this is a party game, this is a guild game, I'm going to play with my friends. And then there'll be other people who's like, maybe I just want to enjoy a game on my own and just maybe at some point throughout my Ashes career, join a guild at some point down the line, like when I reach endgame or like when I reach level 50. Like, do we need to make sure that both of them have a good experience? Probably. All I need to do is get the greatsword and spin again. Spin infinitely. Yes.
case, I think tab is in a better spot development wise. And I have been saying for years, I've said it in many videos, stop trying to make a one-size-fits-all combat system. Just pick one or the other, either action or tab.
Main thing you loved about Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 was in PvP being able to roam on your own. Yeah, maybe I need to watch some, because a lot of people are comparing this to Guild Wars 2, and I have some friends that absolutely adore to that game. Maybe I need to look into it. I don't think I've watched any gameplay whatsoever.
And make it the best we have ever seen. But I'm still willing to wait and see how the whole hybrid thing turns out, so we'll see. But look out for
15 accounts on Guild Wars. Okay. And this is what, similar to how it plays out, do you think?
my full thoughts on combat in a video very soon. But from combat, we can swap over to PvP. PvP is everywhere. I've been saying it for a very long time. If you're purple, I will attack. And we did. We got killed in the open for no reason at all. We battled groups over grind spots. We went corrupted a few times by mistake. There are a few quirks with flagging and kind of targeting, but I believe them to be bugs, which we did report. This is a whole other discussion as well, just like combat. So, you know, I'll save all my experience and feedback for that video, you know, just for the sake of time, but it was fun. It was exciting. It didn't feel ganky and shitty like so many people are afraid of. And the PvP was...
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. It just feeling ganky. I don't want anyone to gank my SS, if you know what I mean. I feel like leaning into the Ranger, being solo focus scout would be cool. Ranger scout would be cool. Even Ranger scout for like a party. You're just like leveling. Wow, you must really like Guild Wars. Yeah, I need to maybe like watch what the vibe is of that game. Looking at is this my new thing? These are actually two completely separate videos that I'm watching here, just so I can get the maximum of this man's face on my screen. At the moment, it was very ganky because anyone can flag and attack you for no reason. Did you get ganked a lot? Was that a common occurrence, or was it actually when you were getting ganked, you're like, yeah, I should have seen this coming at some point?
Was spread far enough that it didn't feel like that I was in a constant battleground. Just, you know,
that's what I don't want. Like, I kind of want to enjoy the MMO part of it, not just PvP endless whenever you leave a city or a node.
I was getting comfortable, boom, there would be some PvP, just enough to keep you on your toes. The map is massive. I know everyone gives and
How massive is it? Because the guild you were in left the guild and it stopped. What? So it actually ended up...
I never really thought about it. But Ranger has Invis, while Rogue 2 has it. So if choose Rogue/Ranger class at level 25, does it become true stealth? Since one archetype on its own is only like a camouflage.
Yes, 100% I want that. I want them to niche down. The further you go down, the further niche it becomes. So full invis. Full invis. Obviously you won't have the benefits of other stuff. But yeah, if you want to give them that, give them that. That would be a beauty. That would be amazing. I'd like that. And guess what? If it's too overpowered, there's this little thing that people call balancing. They can just balance around it. I'm okay with that. I like that. You want cardboard box stealth. Metal Gear Solid side. Oh my goodness. What they should have is probably the druid. There's a druid, isn't there? There is a druid. Is it a druid? Druid. There's a druid. Is there a druid? Druid. Where's the druid? There's gotta be a druid. Is there no druid? They should have a druid that can, like, turn into a tree or something. And then other people just have to know the map. Or, like, have to know, hang on a second, that tree wasn't always there. That'd be amazing. Oh my goodness. When is Druid coming out? Don't care about Rogue or Summoner. Bring out Druid. That could be its own, like, own class, right? Talking about going down. Did I sit? Ugh. Pure glass cannon. Yeah, that would be cool. Like, out of nowhere. I don't know. I'm going to say stuff and then immediately regret it. 'Cause people are like, oh, that's not going to be balanced at all. But, like, I want someone to be able to, in my group, not against me, because that would suck, but in my group, to just be able to sneak past the enemy, fully invisible, get to one of their, like, squishiest people, and then just do, like, massive damage. And then, obviously, there'd be a cooldown or something, so they can't just stealth up again. So then people are always on edge. So you can't just leave your healer in the back. Like, that's not a thing. An enemy tree. Why? Why is the tree very quietly giggling to itself? Is that normal? Was that always there? They said they won't go invis like rogues. Oh, okay. Yeah. We got time. We got time to convince them, right?
A hard time, you know, it's only the Riverlands after 8 years, blah blah blah, whatever. You know, it's really good. It's not.
Oh, 2 secs. Someone's at the door. BRB. Is that tree softwood or hardwood? Ha. Yeah, hardwood. Yeah. Cool. Do you want to know the good news or the bad news? The good news is I'm going. That's your good news. Yeah, so that'll be it. Oh, I guess the bad news is we don't get to finish this vid. But I'm gonna love you and leave you. It's been amazing meeting some of you. Nice seeing some of you here again. And enjoy all the content over the weekend. It's gonna be amazing. I will be very sad that I'm not part of it, but I hope you all have a good time, whether you're watching or playing yourself. If you are playing yourself, I'm just gonna be secretly hating you the entire time, okay? See you in game. I'm November 8, Andy. I'm sorry. I wish I wasn't. I wish I was a better human being, but I'm not. So I'm gonna send you over to someone else to watch more content. Someone else who's also one of us November 8 Andys. But yeah, maybe I'll see you at some point in the future after November 8. If you're in the EU servers. I don't even know what server I'm going to be in. So, yeah, cool. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your Halloween, if you are Halloweening. And love all round. Ciao, ciao.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey guys, what's going on? How are